Joe, I'm gonna need your attitude to be better.
You mean like I needed the episode to be better?
Yeah, especially coming off of that incredible variety show episode. This one was just kind of an afterthought, but a very sped along, multiple things happening afterthought.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Condone Yourself. We're here to talk about All Stars Season 7 All Winners finale, where we had not one, but two Lala Perusa lip sync showdowns. I wouldn't say it was a smackdown, but it was a showdown. And four queens competed for the crown of She Already Done Had Hers, and the other four competed for the crown of Queen of All Queens. After that mouthful, I am Joe. We have OT.
Who is eating, by the way?
Always.
But what's up, people?
And we have Kelly.
Hey, everybody. So I guess we start off. They all come into the workroom per usual, and everybody seems very excited. I think about that everybody has a chance to get 50,000, or the four have a chance to get $50,000, and everybody else is in the top four. I did think the thing that stood out to me in that part was Jada slowly wiping away the tear dramatically and shaking it off.
Yes.
When she was talking about Monet picking Trinity, but nobody was surprised by that pick at all.
And it was really cute how she kind of played on it and was like, of course I expected you to pick me, the girl you've known for 6 months, over this girl you have history with and you've known her for years. Of course I expected you to pick me. Right. So it sort of played into all the craziness that people were saying online about how bad it was or how wrong it was for for Jada not to make it in and all that garbage. Like even Jada understood.
And then, honestly, it didn't matter.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It didn't matter who Monet chose.
Yeah.
There you go. Jada actually had a chance to win more money.
And then randomly, even though they haven't been doing this hardly all season, they did. It wasn't even like a mini challenge, but they did the Soul Train just for fun, I guess. The thing that made me laugh about that was when Rue was like, "You have 15 minutes to get in quick drag," and Raja and somebody else were just like, "No." Raja's like, "I'm done with this part."
What I also thought was funny from that part is when Evie said, Jada got dressed in 15 minutes and looks better than it takes me for 5 hours. Yeah. Jada did look amazing. Also, Monet's Afro puffs. Those were fantastic. I want that wig.
Yeah.
And then Shay's 70s shag kind of.
Yeah, backwards.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
That was fun. I mean, I liked the Soul Train. It just seemed like this episode was just like a weird collage of things that didn't quite make sense. And if they were going to put this much into one, it should have been an hour and a half. Like, it didn't make any sense that everything was like, okay, let's have this segment. Let's have this weird segment with ruined clowns. Now let's have this stuff a runway.
I am glad they didn't make it longer. I'm glad.
But you know what I'm saying. Either remove some stuff. I mean, it just seemed so haphazard compared to how well organized some of the other episodes have been.
I mean, honestly, they probably condensed it because the lip sync showdowns were okay.
Yeah, exactly. Not showstoppers.
Right. Yeah, there weren't any showstoppers. They were okay, so they probably had to adjust accordingly.
Yeah, and it's weird that they did a runway because they weren't being judged on the runway really in any sense. So I don't know why they
just wanted to wear all the clothes they brought.
Yeah, and they didn't do one last week though, when they could have actually been judged. And so instead they threw the random, what was it, grand finale eleganza. And I thought everybody looked great. I don't think it wasn't anybody that I thought looked bad.
I thought Jada's outfit was fantastic. That was so gorgeous. She looked like she owned every single thing.
Yeah.
Like she owns 51% of everything. She was the real standout to me just because it was just such high glamour, that sort of
Yeah.
1920s style, white diamond dripping fringe, beaded with the light hitting it. And, she had the finger waves looking like the Lady Chablis. Like it was amazing.
Monet looked amazing.
Oh, so
Monet looked
good.
like she was ready for a crown to be placed on her head.
Yeah.
Shay as well looked like she was ready for a crown to be placed on her head. I thought all the looks were fantastic and great final looks, except for
Mhm.
one.
Wait,
Which
which
one?
one didn't you like?
There was one that I felt that was a little like a costume, and that was Jinx.
Like the one that was kind of like not Lord of the Rings.
No,
Yeah, I
I
guess
felt
Lord of the Rings
No,
or
it was more like
Game of Thrones.
what Game of Thrones. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
more
what
like
I
Game of
got.
Thrones, or like she was, the live action version of How to Save a Dragon. Like
Yeah.
those people and stuff. I got her story, yes, but was it a final look that represented Jinx? Absolutely not. She's worn a lot better
Yeah.
look.
She's worn
Than
more elegant looks this season.
yeah.
So for Eleganza, I thought several people did kind of like a royalty queen kind of take to the Eleganza. You didn't have to, I don't think.
Didn't seem like it. Didn't seem like you had to do the runway.
I mean, why dress for work when you don't have to turn on your camera? I like Jinx and everything, but this just was like a Georges moment where she didn't follow the assignment.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like it was more of a themed runway for Jinx, whereas everyone else was really representing kind of like their drag, their final look of their drag of what they put to the table.
Yeah, and like Raja did a really good job of that because it was
course.
so artistic. And then she had the crazy shoes on again where she had to balance on the front, and that makeup and that contacts and stuff were incredible. And she even said, like, this is Raja, I want people to see like quintessential Raja, and that was amazing.
Yeah. It was interesting because even though it was definitely quintessential Raja, I said I could see Evie wearing this outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could too.
Yeah.
But instead Evie wore a cake.
Yes, which I could also see Evie wearing that outfit, right?
But her her makeup and wig were gorgeous. She looked gorgeous.
Raven is clearly coming from backstage and doing Evie's makeup. Like,
Yeah.
it's been crazy this season.
It's been so good.
So good.
With Raja, because Raja's like the queen that won first of these queens.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like all of these girls have some part of what Raja brings to the table, whether it's fashion.
How could you not?
Or the weirdness. I know, but I really realized it this episode that, a lot of the looks that Raja brings to the table could fit a certain one of these queens.
Yeah.
So like every look she brought could fit one of these queens easily.
Raja was the trendsetter that made Drag Race popular. Sharon Needles made Drag Race a phenomenon. When Raja came in, Raja started twisting the conversation because remember the first two seasons, it was really about
pageant,
female illusion, right? Pageantry. And then Raja came in with that sort of gender fuck androgyny thing, being very high fashion, being very capable on the runway, and really changed the way that everybody looked at drag, and like made it popular. Because before that, people were just like, oh, okay, you have to be the pretty girl, you got to be the fishy girl. And then Raja came in and was not the prettiest on her season. She wasn't the fishiest on her season. She was actually quite masculine in comparison to the people who were there, and still blew the competition away. And then, of course, Sharon Needles came and just everything exploded, right? But Raja was really the first trendsetter of Drag Race. And so it makes sense that you say that, Joe.
There was not judging. There was them bestowing compliments onto the drag queens and the drag queens bestowing compliments onto Rue. I
Right.
mean, that essentially was, and then more cheers for UOT.
Oh
Lots
God.
of cheers. Well, I think we just get right into like what was supposed to be the meat then of this episode, which was we talked about last week. What I was really excited about, which was like the lip sync SmackDown. So she then already has hers goes first. Then they have the famous wheel, which wasn't as big of a deal this time.
It wasn't.
And then first up that had to go against each other was Viv and Evie,
Yes.
and they by chance selected "Push It" for
Yes.
their song.
Mhm.
The thing I loved most about "Push It" is that Evie looked like someone that would have
She
been in the
did.
club in the era that Push It was
She looked
coming out.
exactly like somebody from a Salt and Pepper video.
She didn't know what the song was gonna be,
Right.
So but it worked so well. I mean, I think she would have won regardless of what she was wearing, but
I think the Vivian would have done better for the other song,
yeah,
Yeah.
which is what, and I think she dressed for the other song and was hoping not to get
yeah.
pushed. It. I wish like the Vivian could have did her like white T-shirt look. She had the white T-shirt and she put the water.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
That could have worked for Push It. That look.
Yeah. I was just shocked that after all of the Bruno flirting that she chose Bryce.
Right.
Like
Like, what was the
that
point?
was weird, right? I was like, why are we saying all of this stuff to Bruno, but then you still
yeah.
pick Bryce?
Well, she immediately regretted it.
Right. Outside of Evie's look, this was a really easy lip sync to judge. Like it just didn't look like Viv was in it. It didn't look like she really knew the words or understood the context of the song. And
Evie
so
definitely knew the words.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was a really really easy win.
Yeah. Not all of them I agreed with the winners, but this
Right.
one was an easy one.
Yeah, this was an easy one for me.
So then the other two come out and
Raja and Jada, the Uz.
and they have to do "Let's Hear It for the Boys," which I love that song.
I do too. And I also felt like that song played right into Raja. I
Totally
said
agree.
the song is actually older than Jada.
Yeah.
So I doubted that Jada really knew the song. And for me, there were a lot of flubs happening on Jada's end when they were getting into her face.
For this one, I thought like, oh, Jada's for sure gonna win, and so I was curious about like what I missed, and that's why I wanted to like look.
Yeah, as soon as I heard what the title of the song was, I said Roger should win this very, very handedly.
Same.
And for me, again, Raja sort of embodied the song. She got what was going on. And you could tell, as we've talked about in the past, that she was familiar because she knew what to do
Yeah.
before the words came.
But give me an example of one of Jada's like flubs.
Jada was flubbing the words to me.
Oh, okay.
And her lip sync wasn't really super tight. And then her performance suffered because her lip sync wasn't tight because you could, for me at least, there were moments where I could almost see her thinking about the words. And then if you're thinking about the words, your dancing isn't fluid. Your moves aren't, seamless. So there were just too many of those moments for me, the way it was edited. Maybe it wasn't as bad. The song is like 5 minutes long, right? Yeah. So maybe it was only those few seconds, but that was enough for me as someone watching a 60-second cut of the song.
Yeah. She didn't like settle in the song for me. And I love Jada. Mm-hmm. Like I wanted Jada and Raja to be in the final two to get that 50K. Honestly, I think Jada and Evie would have been a really great lip sync on Push It. And the Viv and Raja would have been a really good matchup for Let's Hear It for the Boy.
Yeah.
But, the wheel.
And here's...
And the song selection too.
Yeah, the song selection was meh.
Ultimately, I agreed with Evie and Raja being in the top two. And do we just want to go ahead and finish out who wins this one?
the final for them was Raja versus Evie, like you just said, and it was sisters were doing it for themselves.
Another song great for Raja,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. Also a good song though. Like I
It's a
forgot
really
how
good
much
song.
fun that song is.
Yeah.
It's a really good
I
song. And it did
also
just the
I
part.
did not know it was with the Eurythmics.
I didn't know that it was a Eurythmics song. I always thought it was an Aretha Franklin
Same.
song.
Same.
So when I knew that it was with the Eurythmics, but I always thought it was her song featuring them. I didn't know it was the other way around. So I was like, oh, I thought that was an Aretha Franklin song.
Yeah.
Also, Chad had never heard that song ever.
Really?
Yeah, he said he'd never heard it.
He was around when it came out.
Like, how did he not hear that song?
So the only thing, and Joe and I were debating this on Saturday, I thought the Evie wig situation was on purpose to be funny.
I thought it was
And
too.
No way.
Yeah, you don't think so?
That the cap was showing before the wig came off. That was on purpose?
Yeah, that's
How?
why.
What
Yeah,
was the reason?
to do the wig reveal.
so you thought that it was like, oh no, my wig.
To do the cap and then the wig reveal?
Yeah, I didn't see the cap showing, to be completely honest. So,
Oh, that thing was in the center of her forehead.
Yeah, it looked like a headband.
yeah.
It looked like a headband had fallen. And I was like,
Oh,
what is
yeah.
that?
Well,
and
then,
the
of
thing
course.
slicked back, and then there was her head cap, and she had a little look on her face.
Yeah,
And then she took the cap off.
yeah.
But they
And
had the music that go do do do, like the music slowed down when that happened.
Yeah,
You know, like
because
when
Lady
girl
Camden
slipped.
fell.
No, because Lady Camden sold it. Evie
Right,
did not sell it.
but what I'm saying is when like they did the shady music and made it seem like Lady Camden really fell. Yeah, that was a whole shtick. That wasn't by mistake. Also, there's no way in hell, especially at this juncture, Evie makes the mistake of wearing her cap that low, not on purpose. I'm not.
Agree to disagree.
I love Evie, but I would believe it from Evie.
No, I don't. I completely.
I mean, she's already had this. This would have been the second snafu she's had on the runway.
I 100% believe
she had it with the larva snot.
Yeah, yeah. I 100% believe that it was all intentional.
Okay, so
what was the purpose? Are we going to start seeing wig reveals with wig caps now?
Yeah, I think in my mind, the first time I watched it, I was thinking it was supposed to be like so that the audience would be like, "Oh my god, she lost her wig and now she's just in her wig cap."
Right.
And then we didn't know that, and then all of a sudden she got off and there was another wig.
Right. That's exactly what I thought, Kelly. Like she was going for the gasp from the audience, like, "Oh my god, her wig really fell off," because we've seen her do like the cartwheel to the wig reveal. She did that in her season where she had the big wig on, and then she flipped, and then the wig came off, and we all were like, "Oh no, her wig came off," and then she came up, and there was another wig under it. So she's already done that sort of, I'm going to do some sort of move to pull out the wig. So I think it was also a way to sort of surprise the audience and give them something different from her other wig reveals.
Well, it was done very sloppily. And y'all are the only two. Y'all are the only two that I know that think it was on purpose.
Well, we're the only two that were right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We're the smartest two. Wait, so OT, if you're saying, because I thought Evie won that lip sync. But if you think, like as Joe does, that it was not meant to be and she really messed up, then that's perhaps why she does not win that lip sync.
No, I actually, I'm going to be completely honest here and say I don't remember that lip sync well enough to decide who I thought even in the moment. I can't even remember who I thought in the moment won that lip sync. It was mostly not memorable except for Evie's wig reveal, Joe. And
it was a wig oopsie. Give me proof.
Wig reveal, Joe.
Give me proof.
So
Evie, call in. Was it on purpose or not? I already know the answer, but they need to hear it. Fans, let us know what you think in the comments.
So you two were happy with Raja winning? I mean, I love Raja, but
sure, why not?
No.
Sure, why not?
No.
Look, if it was a wig reveal that Evie did, it was sloppily revealed, and I didn't buy it. I think Raja won that one.
I don't care that Raja won, but I told you all last week I wanted Evie to win just for the story of it all. If we are playing the game or talking the game like I normally talk it, Raja had better grades, so for me, Raja should have won. Right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Raja had better grades, so I'm fine with Raja winning. I just was rooting for Evie because Evie's story was just really
Yeah.
emotionally compelling, and sometimes emotion wins over talent.
Well, this season and this season only, it was about grades.
Yeah, and speaking of, well, let's get into the top four
Yeah,
then. The Queen of the
I'm
Queens.
here for that though. I'm
Okay,
okay. I
okay.
just
Well,
want to.
then don't give me this wheel. Don't give me
Right.
these watered down
Lip syncs.
SmackDown performances that don't mean
Joe,
anything.
how many? I've been saying this since season 8, Joe.
Look, I've been saying this. No, season 8 didn't do it. Season 9. I've
That's
been
what
saying for
that's what I
season
mean.
9
Like
because
season
I
8 was the
didn't
last
want
season to do
Sasha
it.
Velour to win. Sorry, Sasha, I love you, and that moment was epic. But I didn't want you to win. I wanted Shay to win.
Because Shay had the best grades in
She
school.
had the best grades in
And
school, but we've been
and I
taught since season 9 not to worry about
Right.
the best grades in school.
It
Right.
kind of comes down to the
All
lip
winners,
sync.
all
Yeah.
the everything comes down to the lip sync SmackDown that don't mean shit.
Right.
If you didn't
And
get A's,
that has been my problem. And I agree with you. If it was gonna come down to who had the best grades in school, we could have just did a regular, normal music video performance, and Rue could have picked the person at the end. It really grinds my gears when I watch this show for this entire season. You've led us in one direction, and then you pull this sleight of hand garbage right at the end.
Yeah.
Right? It was the same thing we saw with Shangela, the same thing that happened to Shay. It's bad television. And I
yeah,
don't know who's telling you it's good television, RuPaul, but it's bad television.
Like, we would not be mad if it was like, throughout, you've earned the best grades, and so like you are the winner, right?
Right.
But it's how they did it this way,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with this like finale that really didn't mean anything.
Anything.
Even
No.
though it was supposed to be like a SmackDown, who's gonna make it? But
Yeah.
it wasn't.
It really ultimately ended up being moot.
yeah. This was the Game of Thrones finale. This could be, it's for some people, the Lost finale. This was a little bit tragic, and it was such a great season to be
I know.
capped off with this way. And not saying the queens are deserving, because Jinx, we knew from the beginning,
Yeah.
Jinx is going to be in the top 4. Jinx should win, whatever. We know that. Raja's great. Like, wanted her to win, whatever. And honestly, I'm not really contesting that one so much as I am the queen of all queens. It didn't matter. This whole lip sync SmackDown, this whole legendary star thing. And if we're talking about the best report card, what are we grading that off? Because Monet had 5 of them bitches.
Right. But Jinx had 5 wins. Monet only had 3.
But yeah, but give me the criteria of what are
Right.
the best grades.
Right.
Because a
Right.
legendary star means you got the grade. You got the A grade because you got the star.
And speaking of things that the fans might actually like, is if you did have the criteria and we could like follow along and like keep charts and like try to figure out how people are doing, like we've kind of done unofficially, and that would be fun. Like, I would do that along with the show, but instead it's just all kind of whatever Rue decides in the moment.
Yeah, it's painfully subjective because you could tell that Rue's voice was edited when she announced
Yes,
the winner. And she said right before she announced the winner,
there's
she's
a
like,
voiceover.
it was a voiceover. So that was added in the moment.
Yeah.
Which means that you did something shady, or you realize that Jinx lost that lip sync by a lot.
Oh yeah, that's why they cut out all of Monet's stuff.
Like,
Wait, let's do quickly how they got there. Then the Queen of Queens.
okay,
So
with the wheel gave us Jinx
Jinx and
versus
Shay.
Shay.
And
And Jinx actually won that lip sync.
She did. She
I
did.
mean, that was, again, speaking of great songs for Jinx, like
Right.
a Lady Gaga song about Judas
Right.
is right into Jinx's facial expressions. But I mean, she is a very good lip syncer, and that, and we've talked about this, where she just knows the words so well, and like her facial expressions. I was watching it again, and I do think she won this one.
Here's why she won for me. It's not for any of the reasons that you just said. For me, Kelly, she won that lip sync for me because Shea Coulee completely spent the entire time doing the choreography from the video.
Yep.
That's not Shea Coulee. That's Lady
No.
Gaga.
Oh, I didn't see. I didn't know
You
that.
gave me zero Shea Coulee, right? Like the thing we love about Shea Coulee is how Shea puts on a performance. We spent almost an hour like drooling over how fantastic she was just last week.
Yeah.
And then you come out here and you gave us zero Shea Coulee. Like none.
Yeah.
That was 100% choreography from the video.
Yeah.
And it was just disappointing. It was super disappointing. I just could not believe that Shea Coulee would go out like that.
Yeah. I don't believe, like, when that song got chosen, I knew Shea was like, oh damn, this is not the song I wanted. Like, you could tell in her face. Honestly, I don't remember that song. I don't remember that song. And then when it started playing, Corey's like, you don't remember this? I was like, I don't remember this. And then they hit the
That
chorus.
song
Like,
is still
oh
on my
yeah.
workout playlist.
Oh yeah, I do not like this song. That's why I
Yeah.
don't remember like how it started. And so I don't remember the video. But to your point, I believe Shea was doing whatever choreography that she, got from this, whatever. I don't know, but it had no personality.
Yeah.
Whereas Jinx was entertaining to watch, and Jinx used her gown, her outfit, her cape, and she was doing that, and it was more entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
So there it is. Jinx wins, Shea loses. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Trinity and Monet did So What by Pink. And actually, I had this one as my favorite lip sync of the night. I thought this one was actually the most fun and had the most energy.
And it
Like,
was the closest.
yeah, they were both very high, because that is like I mean, Pink is a performer anyway, but like that is a pretty high energy song with like some like the great chorus, and they were both actually putting their all into it. So I think for me, this one was the
Yeah,
best.
I also think this was the most entertaining because they have something to prove to the fans more than any of the other queens because they never got to actually beat the other,
Yeah.
right? They tied. And so now one of them can actually say, I beat you.
I did love Trinity in that little spiky wig, though. I
Yeah.
thought she looked so cute.
Yeah, she looked gorgeous the whole night. But yeah, I thought that lip sync was just difficult. It's a really hard song to lip sync
Yeah.
to, particularly based on the styles that the two of them are known for, as far as their lip syncing abilities. I just didn't think that song played well to either of their lip syncing talents, but I think that they gave it their all, and it
Yeah.
was fun. It was the most fun to watch.
So Monet
That leads
wins,
us to Monet. Yes, Monet wins, and then
and
that
then
brings
we
us
are in
to
the final that we were kind of talking about, which
yeah,
is
Monet and Jinx,
To Swish Swish.
which is
Um,
also a
Terrible.
terrible song.
Terrible.
Like that's a it would. I could not believe that was the finale song. I'm
For
like,
those of you who are listening and not watching, I am rolling the hell out of my eyes.
and I wonder how they picked these songs, because there was some questionable choices for a finale where you want high energy and lots of like dancing and death drops and all of it,
Yeah.
And I love a lot of the songs, but that doesn't mean they're necessarily good lip sync songs.
Right.
Yeah.
It really was a disappointing song choice for me.
Yeah. But
Speaking
when we
of
talk about the actual lip sync, you could tell that there were some things cut out.
Yeah.
And a little bit, Monet has mentioned this, that she had lipsticks of all the contestants of the top four. name, and then she put Jinx, and she put the Jinx lipstick on her lips. That
Mhm.
was all cut out.
Right.
Interesting.
And she had
Right.
the moment with like the money up in the air, and
Yeah.
then one other moment too at
She
later.
just like
Probably had a whole bunch. We don't know.
Yeah,
every moment of that lip sync, it looked like Monet wrote that song right before she came out and was
Yeah.
performing it for the first, like, as an original song. Like, Monet has this way of emoting a
yeah.
song. Like, it just oozes through her pores. And that was happening. And it wasn't happening on Jinx's side.
It sure
It
wasn't.
wasn't.
But
Did Jinx know the words? Yes.
yeah,
Was Jinx giving us Jinx? Yes.
yeah.
But it did not compare to what Monet was doing.
No.
Not at
Now,
all. Not on any level. No.
with Judas, I felt like her face was giving us a lot, but like that's a different kind of song. That's a Jinx wheelhouse song, Yeah. As soon as Rue was like based on the what we've seen this season, it was just like because I was sure that Monet was gonna win.
Yep. I was
Me
like,
too.
Monet's gonna win. Monet's gonna win.
Yep.
I was already prepping myself. She's gonna win. And then the moment Rue saw that, I paused and went to the bathroom. I was
To
like, all right,
cry,
what
because
happened?
that's the best place to cry.
Exactly. It was it. I was like, why? I wasted this whole hour. I could have just read the spoilers.
But
And
now
moved
you know
on.
Rue's new song about smiling with the clown dancer.
Honestly, those clown outfits, and I hate clowns, were one of the best things I've ever seen. I thought they were
I
gorgeous.
hated those clown outfits. I hate
Oh, I
clowns
hate clowns, but I
so
thought they were
much.
super cute.
Oh, but I still think those two dancers are so damn hot. But oh, I hated those clown outfits. It was thoroughly disappointing. It felt like another Shangela moment,
It
right?
did.
Where you watch this thing unfold in a way that just blows your mind. And it really just blew my mind because if you have been telling us the whole season that the show was going to come down to this lip sync. Like you told us this from episode
Yep.
1 that it was going to come down to the lip
And
sync.
like everybody has a chance, and if you make it to the top 4, like anybody can win.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if that was the case, that it was going to be based on your entire report card, like that's garbage, Rue. Like it's garbage.
It is.
It really is.
And like Joe said earlier, then it's like there's no point to this episode.
Yeah, it was a point. We could have just had a music, like they could have did the smile video, right? Had
Yeah.
all the girls do the smile video, and everybody has to write a rap. Like, I mean, she's done this 1,000
Or
times.
just end on the talent show because that was amazing. Like,
Yeah.
end on a high note. It just left us a point. Like this, as you guys were saying earlier, like this season was so good. Like
Right.
these queens were
Greatest
so
could have
talented.
greatest season ever.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then to just end with a big was just so disappointing.
And when you think about the other lip sync SmackDowns, All Stars season 4, oh my gosh, right? Season 14, after they screwed the pooch and did horrible on Snatch Game.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, great. Thank goodness Deja wasn't in there. Sorry. You can cut that out. That was a little shade. I'm upset here. And,
Clearly.
and the other SmackDown, what was the other SmackDown?
All Stars 6.
Or the
All-Star
one with
6,
Yeah.
Silky.
With Silky
Silky,
went
where
beat
she won
everybody
over
except
and over.
Eureka.
Yeah, like
Silky lip syncing against herself was
Right.
better. That one woman number was better than all of what we saw
was
last
every
So
time.
who
Friday.
chose the songs for those?
Yeah.
Because they gone that day? Because goddamn, like what the hell was going on? Swish, swish, you put swish, swish for she already done had hers. Put it there. Give it to those queens.
Or just don't have it at all. Because there's so many other songs you can choose.
Yeah. It was just a really, really interesting choice, and in a bad way. And it was crazy because like a Nicki Minaj feature is where we first really got a taste of the Monet Exchange experience.
Right.
And so I was thinking as you were sitting there, like, wow, this is a full circle moment for Monet, right? Her first lip sync was to a Nicki Minaj song on the show, and now her last lip sync on the show will also be to a Nicki Minaj featured song. I was happy for Jinx
Yeah.
because I have been saying for a few weeks now, I think Jinx should win because Jinx has the best report card. I stand by that. I just don't like the way that Jinx won.
Yeah, and that's the
No.
thing. It's like it's not the queen's
Tainted.
fault.
Right.
It's tainted.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all know I did not want Monet to win anything. Okay? Y'all know this, right? But these past few episodes, and Monet's been showing up,
Yep.
and then she did what she was instructed to do. She got enough stars, got in the final four. She slayed those lip syncs, slayed, and she has no crown. She did the assignment, no money, no crown.
Yeah.
And it's incredible because she had the most stars. For Monet, I would be like super perplexed as to what didn't I do to get it. Was it because I didn't win enough challenges, but I won enough stars? Like I didn't say give me 3 stars for this last challenge. That wasn't the rules I set. You gave me 5 stars. I had the most stars. I had to pick who was in the final 4. I had that. I'm the top queen in this bitch.
Yep.
And yet you deny me a crown because Jinx had a better report card.
They're never gonna let us know how they judge the report card.
Exactly. And
Well,
I'm not saying
it's
Jinx
very
was
obvious to
I'm
me.
not saying Jinx was not great. Jinx was great the entire series, of course.
Yes.
But when you talk about the logistics that and RuPaul's Drag Race have set in play, when you talk about who had the highest grade, Monet ended it. It doesn't matter when she showed up; it matters how she ended it, and she ended it. She did everything over everybody else.
Yeah.
And it must really have come down to challenge wins because that's the only thing that Jinx has over Monet. She had 5 challenge wins, right?
Well, then they should have given out additional stars or brownie points for that. Because if you were blocked, you don't get a legendary star. So what does it matter? You know, I mean, it's just like these are the rules that were set in play. So if the wins matter, then no one should have been blocked.
Yeah.
What was the point of the block?
Yeah, and then I mean, Joe, you watch more reality shows than I do, but there's so many reality shows that just do report card. Like, if you're better, you keep going forward. If you're not,
Right.
you don't. And like, I don't know how this show continues to make a mess of it. Like, there are literal templates out there for shows that are super popular that are doing it, and there's tons of fans, right? And you don't make any of the fans upset because they're like, okay, great, Jinx killed it. She won the most. Now we know she's gonna win.
It was just thoroughly unsatisfying. It was really unsatisfying as a fan to see Jinx Monsoon win in that way, which is weird because I really wanted Jinx to win.
Right, but not like that.
But not like that. Right. Not like that. Like,
and that
I watched Monet beat her in a lip sync, even though the edit tried to make sure we didn't see Monet beat her in that lip sync.
Which means that Monet really killed it, because even in the edit, we're like, she killed it. There's no ands, it's or buts.
Yeah. And I was thinking that because I kept saying, wow, they are showing a lot of Jinx in this edit. But every time I'm still paying attention to Monet. Like, I'm waiting for Monet. Whenever Monet is not on the screen, I'm like, where's Monet? I want to see Monet.
And I feel bad for Monet watching that back and being like, oh yeah, I killed this lip sync. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. And they cut the hell out of it. They chopped it up.
Yeah.
Sucks for Monet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad. It's a bad taste. And I wish Rue would really consider the fans more. Like, and we've talked about that too, right? That Rue makes this show for Rue. This show is completely to entertain Rue, but you still have a responsibility, right? She created a very specific world. She stuck us in it. And then right at the end, she changed all the rules and didn't tell us any of them.
Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, more dedicated fans and not pissing off your fans is good for business. So you would think you would just want to get it right. And 14 seasons in, or plus All Stars, plus all the other, like, you think you would have gotten it down to a science by now. Like there should
Yeah.
just be a formula. We should all know it. We should be comfortable with it. And then it wouldn't take away from the show.
It would not.
And it would all set us at ease because we all know what the game is.
Yeah.
Well, do we even need to do condones and condones, or was it all just one big condone?
I feel like we don't.
The
but
canoe
we,
is
but
Rue's.
we do because it's what we do.
Yeah.
And
The
that's what we do.
canoe is Rue's runway outfit. I thought it was super gorgeous. I love the like feathers, or was it
Yeah.
ostrich feathers, or what's the feathers that the queens always talk about that are supreme?
Ostrich.
Ostrich, yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was beautiful. The colors were beautiful. That wig, makeup, everything. Mwah.
Yes. My condu was the unnecessary runway, just because it gave all the queens one last time to wow us, and every single one of them did. Like they all came out with
Except
something. Well, they almost all came out with something that
Except the winner.
really made your jaw drop, and it was really great for me. Like I was really happy to get to just watch them all walk down one last time.
Yeah.
Especially knowing like we'll never see Raja on there again. We'll
Yeah.
probably never see Evie again. Right. So it was a really special moment for someone who's been watching the show from its inception.
My can do similar. I think I talked about this last week, but was them making Jada into a human jump rope in the workroom. Why did they just keep tossing Jada around in
And she's so
there?
tiny. It's so easy.
Oh, it was so funny. I'm like, what did they even do? I think Raja was like, what are you even doing? Like, you guys are losing your minds.
I think we collectively agree on the condones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't give us rules and set expectation just to change it around at the last possible second.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to bring up too, I meant to say this earlier. We finally, watching this last episode, we finally understand who fucked Monet. But bomb. The show, the judging.
Yes. Oh.
I was like, wait, she fucked Trinity on stage. Oh no, you're not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was mad that they cut that away.
Too dirty for prime time.
I've seen worse on this show.
Yeah.
Like I've seen
Derek Barry. We've seen worse.
Oh. Thank you all for joining us with this season of Condone Yourself. Anything else?
It stinks because it has been such an amazing season,
Yeah, we've been excited every week to do the show and to like have so little excitement on this last episode collectively. Like Joe has had more enthusiasm on one episode than we have had collectively today.
Well, and this is a season I would totally rewatch, except for the last episode.
Except for the last episode.
No need to watch the last episode.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, we should start this show by saying, no need to watch the finale.
Yeah, put a disclaimer at the beginning.
Put a disclaimer, just like they did with Sherry Pie. So at the beginning of every episode of this season, we should say, just so you know, this season is great. Do not watch the last season.
Yeah.
Jinx wins.
If you're just watching it for the first time, stop at the variety show.
Right. Do not watch the last episode.
Gosh.
Well, it's been a good season. I'm going to miss you guys for our summer hiatus. I'm super sad that we're not going to be recording this summer, but we will be back in the fall when we decide what format we are going to pick up. So we'll see you all sometime in October.
And when Rue decides whatever the rules are going to be for whatever comes next.
Right. Well, we'll get season 15 in January. Thank you once again, and as always, for joining us on Condone Yourself. We appreciate those of you who sat through and watched all of our episodes and commented, Chance Leo, and a few others, but we could always count on Chance. So thank you all so much. We will be back in the fall, and unlike Rue, we will tell you what our format will be, and we will follow it all the way through. So, in the meantime, please continue to like and comment. Please follow us at Condone Yourself Podcast on Instagram, on TikTok. Feel free to email us at condoneyourselfpodcast@gmail.com. And until we meet again,
Till we
we
meet
thank
again.
you and we love you. Bye.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Although we've come to
To
the
the
end
end of the road. We don't own the rights to this song.
Till I can't
and
let
let
You
go.
go.
It's unnatural.
You belong to me.
Ooh,
I belong to you.
Oh,
What's sad is that we're all really good at karaoke.
but not good at singing.
Just trust us on that one. Okay, bye.